Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to King 5 Plus. I'm Chris Egan, Seahawks postgame live show coming to you only on the big King 5 Plus. A live look now at Lumen Field, and what a night it was at Lumen Field. The Seattle Seahawks defeat the San Francisco 49ers 41-6. Let's repeat that. 41-6. The Seattle Seahawks dominate the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers do not score one touchdown in this game, just a pair of field goals. Ken Walker, 116 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. Rasheed Shaheed set the tone in this game. The first play of the game, he takes the opening kickoff, 95 yards for a touchdown. That is the longest kickoff return for a touchdown in Seahawks franchise history in the playoffs. What does this win mean? Well, the Seahawks will be heading to the NFC Championship. They will host the game for the 4th time in franchise history. This will be the 5th time that the Seahawks have played in the championship game. All right, coming up, Ken Walker is on the podium. We'll hear from Ken Walker. Coming up, Paul Silvi, Ariel Arzuto are at Lumen Field. We'll have reaction from them, from the players as well. Jim Nelson, he's been with the fans since the sun came up, and he's going to be with them throughout the night tonight. Jim Nelson joins us live. And Jim, I have a feeling Lumen Field's rocking and the fans are having a fun time tonight. Jim, are you there?
Yeah, man, we're on Occidental Avenue, just on the west side of the stadium, and the fans are absolutely going crazy. You say I was up at the crack of dawn with the Seahawks fans. The only reason is because I live nearby and it was so loud. I was trying to get my sleep, but now it's a party out here because the fans, the 12s, are so excited to be heading back to the NFC Championship game. We don't know who the opponent will be, but we know that the Seahawks will be in it. I'm going to lay out a little bit and just let these people make some noise. Everybody's excited. We'll walk into the street just a little bit. They're chanting already. We've been talking about this all week, how there hadn't been a home playoff game here with fans since the end of the 2016 season. You think the 12s were excited to be back in one of the best environments in the NFL? Lumen Field, taking a you-know-what to the San Francisco 49ers, the blowout nobody could have predicted. I'm having so much fun with all these people, I can't hear myself think, so I am going to send it back to you quickly, and hey, we'll keep hanging out with all these 12 because the party is going well into the night.
Oh, Jim, my friend, I love it. We're going to see you quite a few more times during the show, and don't hold back, Jim. We're streaming, so we're having fun tonight on this show. Seahawks having fun. 41-6 your final. Ken Walker is speaking. We're going to have that shortly, but we're going to bring up Paul Silvi, who watched it from start to finish. He's been with this team from every game from the preseason to right now. Paul, 41-6. I got to tell you what, I'm surprised with the outcome tonight. Your thoughts as you look back at this game? I don't think anybody that was looking at this game would have thought 41-6 would be the final against the San Francisco 49ers.
Chris, I'm not quite sure what you've covered so far, but it has been just an absolute another performance for the defense. It's just a dominant performance here at Lumen Field. You can go through every position on that defensive side of the ball, and there's just a star after star again. And, Brock Purdy and his lack of success against this Seahawks defense under Mike Macdonald is unbelievable. I just give you these stats real quick. In 6 games against the Mike Macdonald defense, that goes back to the Ravens days when he was defensive coordinator there, Brock Purdy has thrown 9 interceptions in 6 games against Mike Macdonald defenses. He had already admitted earlier this week that Mike Macdonald defenses give him fits. And it's interesting that, a quarterback for the 49ers who's coming to town to play in a divisional playoff game would admit the fact that he has all kinds of problems with Mike Macdonald's defenses, but it held true again tonight. Again, 9 interceptions in 6 games. He was 15 of 27 tonight, 140 yards and interception. in defensive him, he didn't have many weapons out there. He lost his tight end without George Kittle in this game. Jake Tonjes was the tight end. Lost him midway through the game, so he was his only other weapon. And CMC, Christian McCaffrey, had a shoulder injury and a stinger midway through the game, so he had to go out. I mean, Purdy's back there running for his life, as you saw in the second half. Everybody seemed to be chasing him down. He was throwing the ball away. I'm surprised he was still standing at the end of this game. It's no surprise Mac Jones decided to put Mac Jones in this game to give him a break. But just so many great plays on the defensive side of the ball. The 49ers came into this game so good at yards after catch. That was kind of their bread and butter on offense. Throw the short passes, let CMC and those guys take off running. And it worked against the Eagles. This week against the Seahawks, they watched a lot of film. This is again the third time they played this team this season, so they knew what they were up against. They knew they're real good at run after catch. And that was one of the things the Seahawks shut down in this game, was the fact that once the 49ers made the catch in the flat or the short passes, they swarmed them. And that's what this defense does. It's not just one or two guys in on a tackle. It's 6, 7, 8, 9 guys in on the tackle, because they want to make sure when whoever that runner is, that receiver is, goes back to the huddle, he's going back with this holy cow attitude, like they swamped me out there. And so they want them to go back to the huddle a bit defeated. And as this game wore on, you could tell the 49ers were defeated mentally and physically. I mean, this really just turned into a blowout. And I'm not quite sure anyone saw this coming. But I will tell you, Dave Wyman, my co-host on Seahawks Central, did tell me Thursday night this is going to be a blowout. So he was right for sure. Ken Walker, 3 touchdowns in the game. Here he is at the podium.
They had the holes there, and all I had to do was hit it.
What do you think has really led to this the last month or so? You guys just really been running the ball so well.
Yeah, it's really just detail and execution. I mean, we go over it, we watch film, and then we go execute it at practice, and it shows in the game.
Do you think your vision has improved? You know, vision of seeing it, and how does that happen? Through tape study or just playing with the same guys?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, vision improved, and just trusting it. Trusting those guys up front, knowing they're gonna do their job, and they do their job, and I just trusted and hit the hole.
How many runs as you're hitting on the perimeters? How big are the receivers and tight ends? How big are they in the run game?
Yeah, they're real big. They make me and Zach look good. Being able to, when they block, and we've been able to hit the outside, and I feel like that's demoralizing to a defense.
As an offense, what were you guys kind of thinking going into this one with the uncertainty around Sam?
Yeah, we didn't know if he was going to play or not, but we know Drew. He's been there all season, so we got trust in Drew as well. So Drew and J Mel. So luckily he was able to play, and he wasn't hurt. You know what I'm saying? But that's a testament to Sam as well, him as a player and as a person. He came out here and fought through that and played with us.
When did you guys learn, or when were you certain that Sam was going to play?
I found out today. I found out today. We was gonna rally behind him either way. So.
A lot of people don't know Justin Allen and the role he plays as the run game coordinator. Can you talk about how he's affected the run game?
Yeah, real detailed. He got a lot of experience at O-line as well. So with that experience and coming to the O-line room and showing us what they blocking and what the O-line see helps us in the running back room and what we should be seeing as well.
Ken, how good does it feel to have a day like today in front of the crowd, in a playoff game like this?
Yeah, it feels great. It always feels great to have a day like this, but 12s came out and supported us, and that means a lot.
How was that crowd? I mean, you've played some big games here, obviously.
Yeah, electric. Since the first, she came out here and scored the first kickoff, so definitely electric, man, and we need that next week as well.
What did that kick return do for you guys to start the game?
Made us start fast, got everybody hyped, and that's what we need every game. Yeah.
The last TD looked like you hooked the ball into the stands quite a ways. I don't know how often you do that, or have you ever done that, or are you just excited there?
Yeah, I'll do it more, but I get fined for it, so.
Ken, how much of this swim was just about, you guys talk about it every practice, every game, how much was this just another game, week 18?
Yeah, I think that's what, the whole team believes in, is that 1-0 mentality. So we got this win, we got to, focus on the next one, like the next game, and critique our mistakes from today.
When you guys are running.
Well, what a game for Ken Walker tonight. Joining us now, the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel. we were kind of joking before he came out. It's like, if I asked you to put your finger on one or two things that went so well for the Seahawks tonight, you couldn't do it. You probably had to use your whole hand to name them.
Yeah. A stat was given to me by my stats guy, and happens to be my nephew, Riley Michael, and he's standing right over there. He handed me this after the game, and I thought, is this real? Is this true? In the last 2 games against the 49ers, so Week 18, the game down there in Santa Clara, where we win, cinch the number 1 seed, cinch the NFC West, all those things that happened, and then this game tonight. We have allowed the Niners to score 9 points, and it's all been field goals. That is as explosive an offense over there as there has been in football this season. 9 points in 2 games. That tells you how this team is built and what makes this team go. That defense is unbelievable. And the Seahawks offense, when given opportunities, and they didn't turn the ball over once tonight. Niners had, a couple of turnovers, plus giving it over on 4th down when they couldn't make 4th downs. This team they're going to be tough to beat. You know what? I'm starting to get to this point where I always try to be really cautious. I'm starting to get out there over my skis like a lot of the fans do. But my goodness, they played well tonight.
Yeah. I mean, just to take that a step further, you talk about 9 points. It has been 9 quarters since the 49ers have scored a touchdown on this Seahawks defense. So certainly have their number these days. And Brock Purdy has struggled against Mike McDonald defenses, as I alluded to it earlier. But let's talk about this Seahawks defense before we get to Ken Walker and the strong running game. But this Seahawks defense, let's go a little bit further on that. I mean, Ernest Jones, forced fumble, interception today. Just so much pressure on Purdy, chasing him all around.
Yeah, and they had, Kyle Shanahan, to his credit, they had a couple of new wrinkles in things. You saw guys come open out on the far side, flatten a half roll one side, turn back, and then, as the coverage starts to move to one side, throw way back across the field. And so you had a couple of those. Seahawks buttoned that up in a hurry, and then they figured out, okay, now that's how we stop that. Mike McDonald has such a keen eye, and his whole defensive staff. They're so smart, and they are so well prepared. I asked Mike this week about how much new stuff do you think you're going to see. He said, they're going to throw a few things at us, but we'll be ready. We'll be prepared. There's not that much new they can have, and we know how to defend it if they do throw something out there. So it didn't take them long to figure it out. He's got the defense, right where they need to be. They're stopping the run. McCaffrey, now, he got dinged up too, with the shoulder, and that slowed him down probably a little bit, and they ended up having to go to their backup running backs as the game was going on. They already didn't have George Kittle. But this defense, they just keep taking your weapons away. You know what they end up doing? They end up taking your soul. They end up, by the end of the game, you're just looking out there if you're an offensive player saying, what in the world do I have to do to get a positive play here? And all of a sudden it's 41-6.
Yeah. It felt like that the Niners were breaking down as the second half wore on. It was just like, wow, it's just a matter of what the final score was going to be. How about as far as Ken Walker? We saw Charbonnet go out with the injury, and Ken Walker, I don't know if you could say he picked it up from there, but he became the focal part of that running game. 3 touchdowns, over 100 yards rushing. We really saw him just have another great game.
He will be the first guy to say it was the big guys up front and the wide receivers and tight ends. This is the game, and I really tried to, because I do the game through the field glasses, and so I watch, and K9 takes off to the right side. But I try to pull him away so I can see the big picture as the play is developing. And tonight it was really, really apparent as I watched how many offensive linemen, blockers, wide receivers, tight ends are out leading those wide runs, those wide zone runs. And at times it was like 5 blue shirts and 1 or 2 white shirts. And A, that's design, but B, that's just great blocking schemes. And it's taken as we knew it would, as the coaches said it would. You don't get this stuff overnight. So we didn't see it maybe the first 2 or 3 weeks. But as the season has gone on, this team now is averaging like 175, 165 yards rushing the football. That's the time of year you want to be running the ball, is right now, and playing great defense. And they're doing both. And as I said, nobody is going to want to face this team.
Yeah, no. If you're the Rams or Bears and you watch this game tonight, you're like, well, whoever wins our game is going to have their hands full with the Seahawks.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
You better have a heating pad on, too, because you're going to freeze your behind off out there in Chicago tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a different animal tomorrow night, that's for sure. All right, let's throw it back to Chris Egan, and we'll get some more from the players and from the head coach. Chris?
All right, Paul, thank you much. Paul Silvi, Steve Rabel. We've had Jim Nelson out with the fans. We've heard from Ken Walker. Setting the table real quickly for you. Seahawks defeat the 49ers 41-6. They're going to now play either the Rams or Bears. They play tomorrow. That will be the NFC Championship game next Sunday. That will be in Seattle. So the Rams or Bears, the winner of that game coming here. Couple injury notes to keep an eye on. Mike McDonald's addressing the media. We're going to hear from him in just 20 seconds. Charles Cross left the game with a foot injury. Zach Charbonnet left the game with a knee injury, but was on the sidelines in the second half, walking around. We'll hear now from head coach Mike McDonald on tonight's big win.
The 12s, just our organization putting on a great setting, and it's just, you do actually try to take some time and look around and just understand how incredibly blessed we are, and with the best fans in the world, and it definitely made an impact, definitely to start the game, and so just want to appreciate this. That was awesome. It's freaking awesome. And in terms of our team, it's probably the most complimentary game we've played up to this point. Obviously starting the game out with the kickoff return for a touchdown was tremendous. Again, excited to see the blocks on that play, but a great return by Rasheed, and then just kept stacking plays. The takeaways on defense, kept playing. The quarterback's a hard guy to contain, and he makes plays, and so you can't get frustrated. You got to keep playing. And then offensively, being able to control the ball never being in jeopardy, being able to run it, scoring in the red zone, all those things we've been trying to do finally coming to life, and you just keep stacking those things, and it was a heck of a win, man. And it's funny, in the locker room, it's like, we're really excited. We're very proud of the effort, but the guys understand that there's still a mission at hand, and we got another week coming up here that we need to take care of business every day. So that's the focus. Proud of the group. We'll celebrate today. Guys will be off tomorrow and back on Monday.
It is great to have Ernest Jones with us tonight. Just a tremendous defensive effort from the Seahawks team all the way around. And Ernest, just one of the stars out there. First of all, before we get to your stats and impressive night, what did it feel like out there playing in front of the 12s, and really right out of the gate it felt like you guys were shot out of a cannon?
It was electric, man. We've been on hold for the past 2 weeks, and we were like some caged dogs. We couldn't wait to get out here and play. And that's the result of it. Special teams, we've been doing it all week, preparing for this, and he kicked it off nice.
Yeah. I was going to say, how is that to start a game with a kickoff return for a touchdown, or already then putting them in the hole 7-0 before your offense has even touched the field?
That's huge for us to go up 7-0 first play, and then be in Lumen and have the 12s rocking like that. Like, it's hard to come back from that, and we knew that we had to feed off that, and we were able to do so.
Forced fumble, interception for you, and it felt like this defense, as the game went on, you were feeding off each other out there, and that's what you guys do best.
That's it, man. That's our biggest thing. One player makes a play, it feels like everybody just made the play, because we're so excited, but every guy's like, okay, it's my turn to juice us up and get us ready. And my plays, I do it for this team, and I'm looking forward to us in this NFC Championship.
Can you tell me about that interception? Because it looked like, as you watched it on the replay, man, it was a heads-up play by you.
You ran the better route.
Yeah, I seen the tight end chip, and then I seen him coming forward. I also was able to see that Brock had pressure in his face, and I thought he seen me because I seen him. And, man, lo and behold, he threw it. And I was like, well, it's mine now. It's mine now.
I don't want to throw a lot of kudos out there, but Brock Purdy, he can move around in that pocket. He can make some plays. That puts a lot of pressure on you guys, especially because he'll stop and throw back all the way across the field.
Man, he was doing a heck of a job, extending those plays. He hit the tight end early on third down. We were like, dang, we just got to get him under wraps. He's a heck of a quarterback, and we'll see him again next year.
Yeah.
I do have another question, actually. This week, I listened to you talk over at the VMAC. You came out, as you do every week in the press, and all of you guys talked about how, this is going to be great. We can't wait to get in front of the 12s and all, and we know what it is. It's a playoff game, all those things. But it's just week 19 for us, and that's how you prepare. It's just the next one. How do you do that?
I'm still trying to figure out, like, it's our coach though.
Yeah.
From day one, he instilled in us what we were going to be, how we were going to get to that point, and that's how we've got here. And we're just sticking with it. We're one game away from the big dance, but you can't get in it unless you take care of business next week. So.
And you're excited now.
Oh, we're excited.
You're going to celebrate this one.
Oh, man, we're excited. Honestly, I don't even know if the guys are going to celebrate this one.
Really?
We're
you just knew you were going to win coming in. You have that confidence.
We knew if we play our style of ball, it's tough for anybody to beat us.
Yeah, well, it was obvious here tonight, and it's been obvious several games throughout the season. Ernest Jones with a forced fumble, interception. Now he has 6 interceptions on the season, having a tremendous season, and still has plenty of work to do, as he'll probably tell you,
yes,
right?
Definitely. We got so much to correct and clean up, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We'll take this win.
Well, congratulations on the big win, man.
And I just want you to know, you've got more interceptions than I had receptions my last year in the league. So I don't know if I like that or not, but way to go.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you, Ernest. We appreciate it. Let's go back to Mike McDonald at the podium.
Hey, he could come out here and throw it and feel terrible, and then we would have to kind of pivot. But from what he was saying and what the guys were saying, the medical team was saying, it seemed like he was going to be able to give it a go. So that's basically what happened. And you felt like he was, based on his communication with us, it felt like he was confident. So that's where we're at.
What did you think about the way he played?
Tremendous. I mean, there's a couple plays early that I think to get in the swing of things, but I say manage the game as like a very high-powered compliment. Just throwing it on time, taking care of the ball, making the plays when we need to. I think there's going to be some more. There's some explosives out there that maybe we could get to, but I thought there's a lot of operation stuff that he did that really helped us as well.
Talking about field position and third downs in the last game by the 49ers on defense. What was it tonight that you guys were the most?
Well, our kickoff team was tremendous. I mean, this is probably one of the best kickoff return teams in the league. I mean, Mike Morris had some tremendous plays. Tyrese Knight had some great plays. That really helped us, start those drives. So that was awesome. And then, we gave up some more third downs this game than we did last game, but the guys were able to really kind of regroup, go to the next play, and then I think some of those we ended up in some takeaways. So that was awesome. The fourth down stops, obviously flip field position, so that was huge.
I was going to ask you, in the way this league goes with people going on fourth down so much more, for a defense, what kind of, almost more than a turnover of the ball, what that does for you, because you get the field position benefit out of it.
Right, yeah, I mean, they don't count them as takeaways, but that's really what they are. And that's something, we started the year kind of slow on fourth downs on defense. And so to our coaches' credit and our players' credit, it's kind of like, hey, we identified that there's something we want to improve on and, kind of work the problem. And the guys they come to life on fourth down. It's pretty cool.
What specific aspect of fourth down did you work on to improve?
Well, I think you just, you get what you emphasize. We talked about it. We prepped it more in practice, created more situations. That's simple,
Obviously, Shaheed's made a big difference, but you acquire an in-season, you're head coach, you got a million things going on. I'm sure you're in consultation with personnel, but what did you think you were getting? How much should you know?
Well, he was someone that, I know that we were targeting throughout the process, and I mean, that's John and the personnel folks that's just made it come to life, so shout out to him. I mean, turns out, it was a luxury initially, because of our receiver situation, but then with Torrey going down, it ended up being a great move. It was a great move initially. But from my perspective and the coach's perspective, he's a player that we really respect. When he's catching the ball on kickoff return, you're like, oh, here we go. We got to contain this guy. And then when he's on the field on offense, you can't let him get behind you as well. So, and then the receiver run game stuff is something you have to account for as well. So it really does help the team big time. So that was awesome. So shout out to John.
Mike McDonald right there talking about Rasheed Shaheed, who had the 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, his third special teams touchdown this season for the Seahawks. And give credit to General Manager John Schneider. They went out during the season, picked up Rasheed Shaheed from the Saints, a great move that has worked out for this Seattle team. Hey, spread the word. Spread the word. King 5 Plus, the place to be before and after big games of all your Seattle sports teams. We were there during the Mariners' magical run, and we're here for you for this Seahawks run. We were there before the game, and here we are after the game. We've already heard from Ernest Jones, Coach McDonald, now standing by in the locker room. Here he is, Julian Love.
Yeah, I mean, it was an exciting first quarter. A lot of plays were made. I don't know. I felt like the rest of the game was just another game. And we settled in after that. A lot of big plays went our way, but it was exciting. Lumen was pretty much rocking that first quarter for sure, and then the game just kept going for us.
To have the three turnover on downs, the way you kind of just shut their offense down again, to do that 2 straight games in a row against them and how powerful they can be. How'd you guys kind of do that?
Yeah, I think scheme for sure, but player for player, we just felt we had an advantage. We play hard collectively. We play for each other, and we have some dogs. We have some killers out there, and so we felt confident. Just when rubber met the road, that we were going to play harder than that.
This was a team that was lighting everyone up week in and week out. You guys haven't let them score a touchdown.
No, we have not. I have not been on defense. We're playing at a high level late in the season. That's the goal. The last 6-7 weeks have been just what we want it to be, and so I've not been a part of a unit like this for sure.
Julian, there's one game between you and the Super Bowl. It's going to be here. What does that mean to you guys now that you have that ahead of you?
It's exciting. Same time next week is what a lot of us were saying. This game just kind of ebbed and flowed, and it felt very normal. I feel like we prepared so much for this back months ago, and so now it's just happening. We're just going out there playing, just being us, and we'll let things be what they are. Next week we'll just go 1-0 again. That's coach speak, but it's real. It's like when you make things matter of fact and just approach the goals in front of you, then good things happen.
Yeah, and good things have been happening for the Seahawks all season long. Julian Love, one of the veteran leaders on this team, recovered a fumble in the first half for Seattle. You also have to give a lot of credit on the Seahawks defense to Nick Eamon. Christian McCaffrey is one of the biggest stars in the NFL. 17 touchdowns coming into this game, 10 rushing touchdowns, 7 receiving touchdowns. But against the Seattle Seahawks, Christian McCaffrey has not been able to do anything. You heard from Steve Rabel right here on King 5+. Maybe the biggest stat of all of this, the San Francisco 49ers, one of the most explosive offensive teams in the NFL, they have now scored 9 points in their last 2 games. 9 points against the Seattle Seahawks. Nick Eamon has done an incredible job shadowing Christian McCaffrey, shutting him down. Here he is right now talking with the media after the game.
Extremely confident. We didn't give up no touchdowns, kept them in field goals. I mean, what more can you ask for a defense? So extremely confident going to the next game and whatever game in the future.
When Kenneth Walker is having a game like that, does that energize the defense?
Yeah, he a dog. K9 a dog.
You talked about not giving up a touchdown. You guys didn't give up a touchdown to them in 8 straight quarters. What does that feel like?
Feel good, especially knowing they kind of like our rivals or whatever. But it feel good. I don't know. Yeah, they thought I guess they was gonna come out with a better plan or whatever. But we trust in our own ability. Not try to get cocky or nothing, but we trust in our own ability and our defense, and go out there and make plays and holding the field goal. So they got 1 more field goal than the last game. So.
All right, Nick Eamon speaking with the media right there, says feels pretty good shutting this team down. Their rivals, the San Francisco 49ers, they came here week 1, if you remember, and got the victory over the Seattle Seahawks. But since then, it has been all Seattle. Hawks getting that big win down in Santa Clara in week 18. And, of course, the big one today, 41-6, your final. The dark side has been delivering this defense with so many weapons. We've heard from so many of them already. Here's another member of the dark side, DeMarcus Lawrence. What a year he's had. He spoke with the media after the game.
So we was able to do that today, and we had fun doing it.
You came here saying you thought this team could get to the Super Bowl. Now you're pretty close to it. Do you allow yourself to think of that and the excitement of being close? Or?
One game at a time, man. Like I said earlier, we know who we are. We know what we have in our locker room. Just taking one play, one game at a time.
What was the atmosphere like in the stadium?
Oh, man, it was amazing. When Leo got that sack and, just to hear the crowd noise, no better feeling.
What were you think we saw Rasheed return the opening kick out?
Oh, man, just, see him slide down the sideline, defense grabbing their helmets. We was ready to go out there and get the ball again. So, it's just a testament to, the camaraderie that we don't build here in Seattle. And, man, we just going to keep playing Seahawks football.
Ernest Jones is, by age, he's still a young guy, but he's experienced. He's a leader. Yeah. What does he bring to this team? Obviously, there's turnovers, but overall, what does he bring to you guys?
Yeah, man. EJ is like our I mean, he is our captain, man. He holds us together. You know, he makes sure all of us is in the right place. You know, and shoot, I mean, he's a dog and, you know, gets the ball for us. So, you know, shout out to EJ, man. Let's keep it going.
Is the mob necklace new?
Yeah, brand new mob necklace, man. You know, just letting the world know how we coming, you know.
I think you have 3 forced fumbles this year, chasing guys down from behind you. When you're coming after a guy, does that just feel like the ball's yours if that's out there?
Yeah, most definitely. I ain't running for nothing, you feel me? So if I'm going to run, I'm going to try to make sure I take the ball from you.
We put it on the ground. Nick picks it up for a rookie to get a takeaway in his first career playoff game. How excited was he after that?
Sweet, man. You know, shoot, all honesty, I didn't know what happened. You know, I know it was a 4th down and we got off the field, but, you know, I definitely take the forced fumble. Last question.
Julian said he's never been part of the defense that peaked like this. What can you say about the way you guys have just come alive really in the second half and what you've shown the rest of the league and everyone watching?
Man, it's commitment and dedication, you know, to our brotherhood and, you know, where we want to go. I feel like, you know, we have a room, you know, mix of young guys and older guys. And, you know, once you bring, you know, our talents and, you know, our efforts together, we have a complete puzzle. Appreciate y'all.
High school.
I know that.
All right, we are back at Lumen Field. And I'm just listening in on Sam Darnold and Steve Rabel having a discussion about football, but I have to bust in and talk to Sam. Sam, let's first of all, your impressions of this game out here tonight, playing in front of the 12s and all the excitement that came with it.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I don't think I've heard a stadium as loud as ours. You know, up to this day. Hopefully, you know, next week is just as loud or probably louder. But yeah, it was incredible. Our fans. They always show out, but tonight especially. It was incredible. The fans were amazing. I felt like as a team, you know, from the first kickoff, you know, it was a total team effort tonight. Special teams, defense obviously doing their thing, and just the way that we controlled the ball. You know, I think as an offense, that was a huge stepping stone for us. You know, it was big against them last game that we played in the last game of the season to clinch that number 1 spot. And I think we did a lot better job, obviously, of finishing in the red zone, which we put a huge emphasis on. So we just got to continue to, you know, it sounds funny, but we got to continue to grow and get better and learn from our mistakes and watch the tape and just grow and get better as an offense.
When you come out on the field, your first time on the field, you got a 7-0 lead. You haven't been on the field yet. You got a 7-zip lead. And you know you've got this defense behind you. How encouraging is that? How does that make you feel as the quarterback, the leader of the offense, knowing I've got these guys over here, plus I'm coming out with 7 on the board already?
Yeah, it's great. I think, you know, it doesn't change our mindset, though.
No.
It doesn't change my mindset as a quarterback. You know, I'm you know, aggressive as I can be. You know, if they want to play, you know, certain coverages, it doesn't matter what they play. You know, we're going to take our shots if we can feel like we're, you know, I'm giving the time and our guys are getting down the field and beating the coverage, then I'm going to rip it to them. But if not, I'm going to check the ball down and move on to the next play. And, you know, I feel like we've been doing a good job of that as an offense, you know, throughout the entire season. But really this latter part of the season, you know, the last few weeks, I feel like we've been doing a good job of that. So we just got to continue. I got to continue to do a good job of, you know, just taking what the defense gives me. You know, I feel like there were a couple plays that, you know, I could just dump it down to my second progression tonight. And but yeah, again, you live and you learn, and you know, we'll be better next week.
You got hammered a couple of times too. You all right?
It was fun, man. Yeah.
That's what
awesome.
we were talking about during the break.
Yeah.
You know, he had some linebacker in him when he was in high school. So.
Yeah. I mean, you don't, you know, obviously you want to stay clean. You know, you hope there's no sacks, but when you do get hit, it's kind of fun. And then I got Gray Zabel in my face, like, hey, get up, let's go, let's get to the next play. And I'm like, dude, I'm not like laying on the ground, you know, milking it or anything, but, you know, I was on the ground a little bit and got up, went to the next play. But, you know, of course, Gray's the first one in my ear, like, hey, get up. So it's always good to have the offensive lineman, you know, helping me up like that.
Don't let a rookie talk to you like that.
All right, listen, you know, you left the practice a little early the other day. I have to ask the podium question is what I'd like to call it, because you drew a lot of attention. Were you surprised at the oblique injury and the oblique news that it drew so much attention to you?
I wasn't surprised. You know, I knew it would kind of, you know, stir up some headlines. You know, just a weird thing that happened during practice. You know, felt really good pregame as well, throwing the ball. So knew that, you know, once I got out there, especially with the adrenaline and, you know, throwing to the guys and the 12s, like I mentioned before, just being loud for us, like, you know, I knew that I would be able to come out here and feel really good.
Sam, you talk about the crowd, how electric it was. I talked to a number of the guys during the course of the week, and everybody sort of speaks like Mike does. Like, yeah, we know it's going to be great. It's a great atmosphere, and yet it's just the next game. Mm. How do you do that mentally? How do you guys do that and think, okay, I'm not going to worry about playoffs or anything else. We're just going out and playing another football game.
Yeah, I think it's easy because, easy is a tough thing to say, but I think it is easy sometimes because of the process that we have throughout the week.
Yeah.
Like, our process doesn't change. We didn't change anything about this week that we did, week 1 of the season or week 10. So, that's kind of our bread and butter right there. Like, if we just continue to stick to our process, like, that's what we do the best.
Yeah.
We have such a great group of leaders in that locker room, a great group of guys that just come in and want to work. And when we do that every single day, the way that we do with our process and just how detailed we are, we're going to continue to be a tough team to beat.
Yeah.
The NFC Championship next Sunday.
Do you care who it is?
No, obviously we'll be tuning into the game. I'm excited. It's 2 really good teams. So we'll see.
Got to be a good feeling for you, huh? Man.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
One win away from the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but again, like you said, it's the next one.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to say it's 1 game away from the Super Bowl. When I get on the air, that's exactly what I'm going to say.
Okay. Listen, Sam, thanks a lot. We appreciate you coming on, and congrats on the big win, and best of luck next week.
Thanks, guys.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Sam.
Let's go to Cooper Kupp now at the podium.
On this league, and Drew did a great job stepping into that practice and just kept things moving, kept things rolling. Process hasn't changed, and Sam did a great job of being able to get himself ready to go and battle through that today. And but yeah, the show goes on.
In your mind, did you think he was going? Was there any doubt that he was going to play in your mind, like leading up to it?
I figured he was going to find a way to get out there. It's hard to tell. You don't know, and guys. Without him throwing or anything, but he was out there at the walkthrough on Saturday. Like, he was told not to throw, and he's out there, pump faking. Everyone's like, "Dude, stop! Just please don't do anything stupid." So I figured with him pump faking as much as he was, he had to be feeling okay. But yeah.
When did you know, for certain, that he was absolutely going?
We ran out there on the field.
The throw he made to you on that first touchdown drive, probably one of the better throws he made all game. Was that sort of a sense like, okay, he's fine if he's ripping that one?
Yeah, there were quite a few throws I thought he made that were like, man, he's letting it rip, and I was a little concerned on one of those. Took a sack on one of those keepers and got up a little slowly, but man, just fought through. He was consistent. He was the same Sam that he's always been, just leading the huddle, being a steady leading force for us. And he made some unbelievable throws. The one going up to the left, they threw the jacks in the end zone. Like, those are unbelievable throws that he was making today.
When you're playing in that kind of environment and it's hitting like that in every phase, what does that feel like to be a part of that?
No, it's fun. That's complimentary football at its finest. Open the game up with a kickoff return. Defense goes out there, is doing a great job getting stops, gives us field position. Offense goes down. You'd love to be able to finish in the red zone in that situation, but just being able to play off each other, man. Just keep the energy moving forward, keep the ball moving forward. On the offensive side of the ball, I feel like we did a great job of that. There were the only times that we got into bad situations is when we had to play that we moved backwards. But we were able to recover from some of those. And but when you got offense, defense, and special teams playing off of each other like that, it's dangerous. It's very dangerous, and we were able to capitalize on some of that today.
He's a big sky guy like you. Have you ever noticed he just kind of glides when he runs? It doesn't look like he's running that hard, but he goes. It's just different.
Yeah, cheat code. I'm so angry at him for being so fast. It drives me crazy. Just jealous, I guess, at the end of the day, because he's special. I remember the first day he got to the facility, I remember asking him, like, is it cool lining up and knowing that you can run past anyone that lines up across from me? He's like, yeah, it's pretty cool.
You played in the empty stadium playoff game here, and now to play in this atmosphere. What was it like?
Yeah, the 12s brought it. It was really cool to see that, and I'm glad we were able to put on a show for them. And man, looking forward to what they can do next week.
What does it mean to you personally to go back to the NFC Championship?
You don't take these things for granted. This is a testament to the amount of the process that it takes to get here. the amount of work that goes into it. And this league is the guys are the best in the world that you're going up against each and every day. And to get to this place, testament to the coaches, testament to the guys, and the process that they have taken through this time. And it's going to be a real cool thing. I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about it this week, but everyone's gonna want to say that everything's sweet. That the results that happen today somehow impact what's going to happen next week. And it's going to be great because the way that we've gone about this week after week and game after game is what's sweet isn't what happens out there. What's sweet is what we know, the amount of work that happens during the week. And as long as we can do that, as long as we keep following that process, we're going to be so confident, so excited about whoever's across from us next week.
This is your first go.
And there he is, former Eastern Washington star Cooper Kupp. His parents both athletic stars at Pacific Lutheran University. Cooper Kupp went on to Eastern, did great things, Super Bowl champion with the Rams, now a member of the Seahawks team, and his veteran knowledge with this team has just been amazing. Great to hear from Cooper. How about this, guys? If you're watching, guys and gals, if you're watching King 5 Plus, we've already heard from Ken Walker, Sam Darnold, Julian Love, Cooper Kupp, Nick Emanwari, Mike McDonald, DeMarcus Lawrence, Ernest Jones. King 5 Plus, the place to be. I'm getting tweets from Michigan. Thanks for watching in Michigan. Thanks for watching in North Carolina. Thanks for watching in Palm Springs. We got Seahawks fans across the globe watching King 5 Plus, and we're not done. We got more players to bring you. Ariel Arsuto is with the Seahawks outside the locker room. She's standing by with A.J. Barner. Here she is, Ariel and A.J.
All right, guys, I'm here with A.J. Barner. A.J., 41-6. Just what does that mean to you as an offense?
Great performance by us. Great team win. I felt like every phase of the game was impactful today. And, we know what's up next. So I got to turn the page and keep it rolling.
Offensively, the phase that really stood out was the run game. You guys are really putting things together, especially in the past 4 games. Mm-hmm. What can you say about the evolution of the run?
Yeah. It's been ready to happen. We've been putting the work in on it, the schemes that we have, the coaches that we have, and the way that it works together. It was just a matter of time, and it's happening at the perfect time.
And then when you have a guy like Ken Walker, right? 19 carries, 116 yards, 3 touchdowns. What can you say about Ken?
Special player. Sparty fans know it. I went to Michigan, but he's a special player. And when we give him opportunities, he's going to make the most of it. So we just got to keep blocking for him, and those things will happen.
Obviously, you practice against your own defense all week long. They put up another phenomenal effort, keeping them out of the end zone for 8 straight quarters. What can you say about them?
Man, they just play so well together. I mean, the way that Coach Mike has them playing, the intensity that they bring, and the way that they feed off the 12 is just, crazy. So obviously we expect that from them, and they're going to keep it going.
AJ, you are 1 win away from heading to the Super Bowl. Next week, it's going to be again back here at Lumen Field. Just what goes through your mind when you hear that?
Just got to win one more to get there. So, I mean, it's the reality at this point. We set our goals on that. But like I said, it's reality now, so we just got to take advantage of it.
I got to tell you what, if you've watched this post-game show, you're a coach or a player, you should watch it all again if you want to find success on the playing field. Because if you listen to all the interviews so far, they don't get too high, they don't get too low. That all goes to the head coach, Mike McDonald, and what he preaches over there. Just another game. We heard from Ernest Jones, we're not even going to celebrate this one. Sam Darnold, we're not even sure who we want to play. We'll watch the game tomorrow. They don't get too high, too low at all. The media, we're going crazy. Jim Nelson, the fans, they're smoking, they're having fun. But these players just, like I said, not too high, not too low, and they just keep on winning. That was a Week 19 win. Now they get ready for Week 20. Will it be the Bears? Will it be the Rams? We'll have to wait until tomorrow. We know this. Seahawks win today big time, 41-6. Paul Silvi standing by at Lumen Field with more on today's big game. Paul?
Oh, Chris, we've talked a lot about the Seahawks defense tonight, and, we've talked about individual stars throughout the last few weeks, but Byron Murphy is one guy who's been doing it all season long, a breakout season for him. He ties up multiple guys along that defensive line, allowing some of his teammates to get in and make plays. Again, a very unselfish group up front. He's definitely one of those guys, and he's a big, strong man. Here he is in the locker room after the game.
It shows that we're a relentless group, it don't matter who you is, the standard is the standard. We hold ourselves to a certain standard, and know what that is. We don't want you to score, we're not going to let you score.
How is this defense peaking right now at the right time?
Just by, just by doing the same stuff we do week in, week out. Like, there's nothing new. It's the same process. We getting the same results. So what we doing is working. We're going to keep doing that.
How hyped do you get when Rasheed Shaheed scored the 95-yard house call to start a game?
I was so hyped. I wasn't expecting that, but when he did it, man, I knew the game was over then. I already knew.
In addition to that, you see on the other side Ken Walker with 3 touchdowns, 116 yards. I mean, how encouraging is it for your defense to see your offense performing like that?
It's very encouraging. Seeing them go hard, they just make us want to go even harder. They making big plays. We're like, okay, we got to go make a big play, get the ball back, give it back to the offense. So just playing complimentary football.
There's one thing about this Seahawks defense. They get it done in layers. We talk about the defensive front. Then you got Ernest Jones leading the linebacking core. And in the back, take your pick. Devin Witherspoon, the rookie Nick Imwari, and of Julian Love, the KG veteran who's always so good back there and always so solid, recovered a fumble tonight. And then you got Reek Woolen, who was tremendous out of the gate as an NFL rookie, and then this season started a little slow, got it back together, and has really played a strong second half of the season. Mike McDonald sings his praises basically at every other press conference during the season. So Reek Woolen, a couple of pass defenses tonight, another great game for him. Here he is in the locker room.
That's what makes it so fun. If I was the same person I was week 1, then I'll be doing my team a disservice. I wanted to be better for myself. I wanted to get better each and every game, and that's what I've been doing. Even if things didn't go my way, I just knew that things would go my way eventually. I still had confidence, and whenever you got God on your side, you ain't got no worries, man. Me and him have different combos each and every day throughout the day and many different times, and I feel like that's helped a lot too, just being able to talk to him a little bit, just because you got a person to go to, and it's been helping out a lot, man. And I just kept faith in myself, kept faith in him and my confidence, and just keep putting in work, and it shows.
Woolen and that Seahawks secondary making it awfully tough on Brock Purdy again. Just 140 yards passing tonight. He's thrown 9 interceptions in 6 games against Mike McDonald's defenses. So he has struggled against Mike McDonald defenses. And the 49ers as a whole, 9 quarters now without scoring 1 touchdown against the Seahawks defense. So we've hit on a few of the stars on that defense tonight. They get the job done. 41-6 the final. Let's throw it back to Chris.
All right, Paul, you're right. We've talked a lot about the defense. I think now it's time to shift a little bit and talk a little bit about this offense. 41 points. On King 5 Plus in our pregame show, Paul Silvi asked me one of my keys to this game. I say run the rock. Run the rock. It's been working so well for the Seahawks down the stretch. Zach Charbonnet, Ken Walker have been running strong. We saw that in this game. 175 total rushing yards from the Seahawks. Ken Walker leading the charge with 3 rushing touchdowns. We'll see the Ken Walker highlights tonight on the news. We'll hear Ken Walker's name. But we also need to talk about this offensive line. We have to talk about a former Archbishop High School star, a Washington State Cougar, Abe Lucas. He has been sensational all season long. He seals the edge on those outside zone runs. He did it great tonight. He had 1 penalty against him. What does Abe Lucas do? He comes right back and gets a big pancake block on the next play. Abe Lucas was phenomenal in this game. He's been doing it all season long. And here he is, Abe Lucas from your Seattle Seahawks.
He balled out, did what he was supposed to do, did what he always does. Hell of a running back, hell of a guy. I'm happy for him.
Can you talk about how you guys as a unit are really propelling this run game?
I've been saying it all season. It's just a softening process, so we just continue to chip away at and try to get better as fast as we can, but as efficiently as we can. And, I felt we've been able to do that more and more and continue to.
All right, in the PNW, those are 3 letters, but 3 letters everybody loves to say right now, JSN. Jackson Smith and Jigba just continues to have a breakout season. Didn't have huge numbers tonight because he didn't need to with the run game doing what they needed to, but it is JSN that catches that big touchdown there in the first quarter, gives the Seahawks a 17-0 lead. Sam Darnold rolls out to the left side and finds Jackson Smith and Jigba in the corner of the end zone for the touchdown. Here he is after the game, JSN.
Man, it's a blessing. All three phases of our team showed up, and that's just great to see. Just an overall great game by our guys. I'm just super proud of them, and we know what's at stake next week, so we're just going to prepare the same way and do our thing.
When you see Ken Walker run for 116 yards, 3 touchdowns, what does that make you feel like as one of his receivers?
We're going to dominate today. It's just too much for the defense. We're going to overwhelm them. If we're able to run the ball, then we're able to do a lot of things. So that's great to see.
If you're a Seahawks fan, it's like Christmas morning right now. I mean, we just keep gifting you all these players. Just heard from JSN, Abe Lucas. Over 12 players have already heard from, and we're not done. Paul Silvi joins us now with another star receiver from tonight. Paul?
JSN has certainly provided the wow factor for this team throughout the season and led the NFL in receiving yards all season long. And then you look at some of the other pieces on that offensive side of the football, especially the receiving core. Rasheed Shaheed comes here for a couple of draft picks out of New Orleans. He opens the game tonight with a 95-yard kickoff return, which we've talked about, has been a lot of fun to talk about for sure. And then he comes back with a couple of runs for 27 yards. He's just become this great weapon for the Seahawks. Got great speed, fits into Clint Kubiak's offense, which he was in last year when Kubiak was the offensive coordinator for the Saints. So didn't take Rasheed long to get familiar with this offense, and here he is after the game.
Takes through that opening kickoff.
Yeah, man, that was a crazy moment. Just built momentum for the rest of the game. I don't know what to say. That was just a crazy experience. Shout out to Jay Harbaugh for putting us, all 11 guys, on the right page each and every week. So big shout out to him.
Do you feel the crowd when you're on the field like that, or is it something like you're too in the zone to notice?
This particular play, I did kind of hear the crowd a little bit. It just kind of erupted, but that particular play I did.
Did you see the kicker trying to trip you?
I felt it. Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, did I just feel a foot hit my leg? But that was funny. But
you ever have a kicker try to leg sweep you before?
I can't say that I have, no.
What kind of jolt do you think? The energy was already high, but you had to wait 20 minutes for kickoff. What kind of jolt do you think your return gave the whole team? What did that lead to?
Yeah, it just showed how prepared we are to come out and dominate. That was our mindset throughout the whole week. It's our mindset each and every game, and that's exactly what we came out to do. And started with special teams and kind of carried throughout the rest of the game.
What'd your quarterback show you this week?
Toughness, resilient. He's a leader and the captain of this team. He came out, he wasn't feeling 100%, and he played a great game, and that's all we could ask from him.
What was the feeling like, after you hear about the injury or something, you saw it happen in real time, but 2 days before the playoff game, the quarterback goes down. What's the feeling like with the offense?
Yeah, it was some news that we weren't expecting, but we knew that we had a great backup, and he was going to come in and compete, and we were going to rally behind him. Whoever is back there, we know that we could win with, and it was kind of a surprise, but I feel like we handled it well.
That 30-yard run, what's it like having 2 offensive linemen that get that far out in front?
Yeah.
I believe Sundell and Zabel were 20 yards downfield. I mean, how awesome is that to have 2 buffet bashers that can run like that?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. To have guys that have that kind of effort, it kind of just it's an example of how we know that if we put the effort in, that any play could be a touchdown. And, guys like that, that's a perfect example of our team and embodies of what we want to do each and every play.
Weber State posted a video of all 7 of your touchdown returns and kickoff returns in college. What's striking is how different the kickoffs look because of the mechanics and the rule changes. When did you understand how to maximize returns in this new system and the way they do it?
Honestly, pretty recently. I didn't start the year off kick returning. When I came here, that's when I finally got the opportunity to get back there. So I knew that I just had to stick with the game plan and, just follow the 10 guys. I knew that this group is super special and they put in a lot of effort throughout each and every week. So all I got to do is just follow those guys and they do. I just handle the rest.
Cup told us when you got here that he asked you what it's like to be as fast as you are. Do you remember that conversation with him?
Yeah. That was one of the first things he asked. But he said he's been watching me for a long time, and he was super excited to have me.
Rasheed, you have arguably two of the biggest.
Back here at Lumen Field, where the Seahawks, again, just enjoying a lot of laughter. We're hearing a lot of visitation out here where the players are getting together and just smiling and laughing and trying to enjoy this one. Coach Mike McDonald's here with his family. He's enjoying the moment as well. So 41-6 the final. A lot of great things from the Seahawks team tonight. You know, and you go to the 49ers side of the football, head coach Kyle Shanahan said after last week's win over the Eagles, looking ahead to this game tonight, he was asked, and he said, listen, we're going to play better than we did in Week 18. And I'm pretty sure he's flying home tonight saying we played worse than we did in Week 18. I mean, how do you explain it? One of the things that is used to describe Kyle Shanahan's offense is that Dave Wyman, my co-host on Seahawks Central, likes to say the illusion of complexity. They're moving a lot of guys in motion. They're kind of saying doing this thing to you, but it's in basic form. It's just football, you know. You have a guy running this way, a guy running this way. It's basically just a handoff. It's an illusion of complexity. We saw the flea flicker tonight. They did a lot of stuff back there, and they got 2 yards. We also saw a fullback pitch on 4th down where Juszczyk's got CMC trailing him. He's running out of real estate, and he throws it back to him. I mean, at times it was just comical watching this. What are you trying to do differently than you did last time against the Seahawks? And whatever it was just wasn't working right out of the gate. So interesting dynamic tonight here at Lumen Field. Leo Williams, strong game. He had 2 quarterback hits, a sack tonight. And, again, he's just one of those disruptive guys continually on that defensive front. Here he is after the game.
Around early in his career on the Jets, and I think as soon as I seen him in the building here, I just seen a different guy. I think I just seen a dedicated guy. He's dedicated to his craft, dedicated to the work, dedicated to his organization, and I think he's just a special leader on this team.
How different is he from the Jet days? Obviously, more experience, but in other ways, how different is he?
I mean, I think we're both very different. I think, for me, it's like I was too young to even pay attention to other guys that much. Now I'm a veteran. I kind of can understand like what guys are going through. I could be more a leader in that. In that space where I can see what's going on in the locker room where, when he first got to the Jets, I was still young as well. So it was harder for me to pay attention to what other guys were doing,
8 quarters, no touchdowns against the 49ers. What did you do today?
I mean, this defense is amazing. It's fun to play with them. Mike has this slogan, loose and focus, that he's been, instilling in this team since day one he got here. And I think that's really what has allowed this team to play so free, play so fast. And I think we just believe in one another. We trust in one another. And, regardless of where we're at on the field, when we take the field, I think we trust in ourselves. We trust in the guy next to us, and we get the job done. And it's amazing to not let them score.
Your 4th down sack, you took a straight line. Did you know that was going to be a pocket pass, or why were you so decisive on this snap?
I got to give a shout out to the rookie, Gray Zabel, actually. He's a smart kid. Since camp, since OTAs, we've been going back and forth, communicating, giving each other tips on what works, what doesn't work. And sometimes it's good to get insight from a guy on the other side of the ball. And he said to me at one point that, he can tell I was getting the center slide into me a lot. And he's like, hey, why are you taking that inside move when the slide is coming to you? You should just try to burn the B gap. So that whole drive, I was just taking off, trying to burn the B gap, and it worked.
Did you thank him on the sideline after the play?
Yeah, I went up to him and thanked him for sure.
How rare is it to have a situation like that with a rookie where things go full circle? Like you were the one giving him advice during training camp, and now you're leaning on the rook as if he's the season.
Yeah, it's funny because even D-Law tried to give me crap about it on the sideline. He's like, what, like a vet learning from a rookie? But that goes back to another thing that Coach Mike talks about is like old school principles, new school methods, and I'm just like, I'm not. I'm not above myself enough to take advice from someone, and I think that's how this team is. If somebody has some good insight, I think we're all willing to learn from each other, willing to grow. It doesn't matter what year I am. I think, I'm learning from a young guy that, the game is changing, always adapting. I learned a slogan a long time ago when I was young, adapt or die, and it's like, that's how this game is. You got to always adapt.
What do you see? This is the third youngest team.
All right, there he is. Leonard Williams, adapt or die, and the Seahawks team is definitely adapt. Leonard, 2 quarterback hits in this game against the 49ers, 1 sack. You want to talk about discipline? You can talk about the Seahawks defense. 49ers were 0 for 3 on 4th down plays. The Seahawks only had 2 penalties. 2 penalties throughout the entire game. That is discipline on offense and defense. And Seahawks offense, how about this stat? 4 for 6 in the red zone. Well done, Sam Darnold and crew. All right, wrapping it up from this desk. Once again, the final Seahawks beat the 49ers 41-6. 1 win away from the Super Bowl. Hawks trying to get to the Super Bowl for the 4th time in franchise history, first time in 11 years. We will wait for the winner of the Bears and Rams game. All right, let's send it over to my good friend Paul Silvi, who's standing by to wrap everything up. Paul?
Just an absolute dominant performance from the Seahawks tonight on both sides of the football. We've talked a lot about the defense, but Sam Darnold tonight didn't seem to be hindered at all by the oblique strain he had in his left side. He threw for 150 yards in this game. Very simple approach. Ken Walker, 116 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns on that side of the ball. Just a tremendous effort. Rasheed Shaheed returns the opening kickoff, 95 yards for a touchdown. Everything went the Seahawks' way tonight. Very well prepared for this game. You had 2 weeks to get ready for the 49ers, and you did just that. Took it right out of the gate. Took it right to them. So now it's the waiting game. Seahawks will sit here. They told us tonight, of course, they're going to watch the game tomorrow night. It's the Bears and the Rams on Sunday Night Football on King 5. The winner of that game is coming to Seattle next Sunday for the NFC Championship game. And by the way, game time temperatures in Chicago tomorrow, 7 o'clock local time, will be somewhere in the low teens, so 13 or 14. Matthew Stafford, in temperatures like that, has a career record of 1-9, so we know he struggles in the cold. Caleb Williams is the Bears' Iceman. That's the nickname he's earned this year, maybe because he's so cool under pressure as he brought this team back time and again this season, and of course, strong last week as he brought him back against the Packers. So the Seahawks, 1 win away from the Super Bowl, winning tonight 41-6. Great to have Sam Darnold and Ernest Jones on the program tonight, as well as a handful of other Seahawks, and a lot of excitement. They're going to enjoy this for the next 24 hours and then get ready for next week's opponent.